Hey YouTube fam, it's your girl Leah back again with another video. In today's video, as you can see from the title, is my top 10 crochet hair common mistakes. Now, I made this video almost exactly a year ago for my top 8 crochet hair mistakes. So it was going over things like braid pattern, knotting, splitting the hair, and all that. So if you think I missed some things in this video, you're like, she didn't mention that, that's a glaring mistake, I probably mentioned it in my first video. I'll leave it up above, make sure you check that out. But today's video is going to be 10 new mistakes that a lot of, not even newbies, experienced people, even myself, still make when it comes to crochet hair. So without further ado, let's just get started. We're going to start with number 1, too many packs. Now, number 1 on my last video was not enough packs, and I have to say, I may be leading some of you guys astray. Now, if you don't know me, or you don't know, and this is the first video you're finding of mine, make sure you click that subscribe button. We want you to be a part of the family. But I am extra. I'm over the top. I love long hair. I love thick hair. I like big hair. A lot of people see pictures of me online and they're like, ooh, that's a lot of hair. They get overwhelmed with me. Now, in my videos, I list how many packs I use of each hair. I say it in the video. I'll put it in the description box. I'll let you guys know how much of a particular hair I use. But I will say, use me as a guide. The last thing you want is too many packs of hair. Now, the first time I said, you don't want too little. You don't want to be in the salon and, you know, you run out of packs. You bring 3 packs and your stylist is like, no, this isn't enough. But you also don't want to waste money and buy, say, 6 or 7 packs of a hair and that be too many. Then you have 2 extra packs that you're not going to reuse unless you're somebody who reuses hair. Again, that's no issue for normal people. But for me with my channel, having 8 packs or 7 packs of the soft dread hair, when it's a pretty good chance I'll never try that hair again on this channel because I love trying so many new hairs, that's an issue for me. So again, I am extra with having how many packs I have. Some people have too little, some people have too many. If you're going to split the hair, that's going to factor into how many packs you need. You're going to need a lot less packs if you plan on splitting a hair. Also, if you plan on cutting the hair in half, if you buy a hair that is what, say 18 inches and you know you're not going to wear it but 8 inches and you cut the hair in half, again, that half the number of packs you need. I say a good number for me with most hairs is about 5 packs. 5 packs is a good number for me, but I was in a Facebook group the other day when somebody said 4 packs is enough with most hairs, and a lot of the commenters were agreeing with that. I was like, oh, okay, I'm extra. You know, sometimes it's 5 to 6 packs with me. So again, it's going to depend on what you want the style to look like at the end of the day. Again, if you split the hair, you change the hair a little bit, you cut the hair in half, the pack number is going to go down a lot as well. So again, make sure you go into a style knowing exactly how many you need, whether that's researching on YouTube and seeing what other people use, whether it's getting your advice from your stylist. Your stylist most of the time will tell you how many packs they need because they have done this several times. If you're a DIY person and you do it yourself, of course research will help, but again, your stylist most of the time won't lead you astray with how much hair you're going to need. Now the next thing, number 2, we're going to say leaving too big of a gap in between your braids. Now, I get this question from a lot of people. I've gotten it especially in my early days, was they would send me a picture of their hair and they'd be like, it doesn't look like yours at all. What can I do different? And I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, why are there craters in between each braid? Why is there infinity in between each braid? I don't like this. And that's the thing that can make your hair look unrealistic. Again, if you saw my crochet encyclopedia video, I'm trying to fool people with my crochet hair. I want my crochet hair to look as natural as possible. I want it to look like it's growing out of my scalp. I don't want people to tell that I have crochet hair in. But for some people, that's not what they're doing crochet hair for. They don't care that people, you know that it's crochet hair. They don't care that it looks like crochet hair. They don't care if people can see the knots. They don't care if people can see the braids and all of that. And that's okay as well. But for me, again, why I do crochet hair, I want it to look natural. You're going to have to be up on me doing an investigation to be able to tell that I have crochet hair in. And one of the reasons that some people's look unrealistic is because the space is way too big. There's a whole gap and then there's a braid and then there's a whole gap and then there's a braid, and the stylist is putting hair on the braid, but that gap is still there. Make the braids as close together as you possibly can. And if you go to a stylist and you see that the braid pattern, you can see the braid pattern before they even start sewing the hair and you're having weariness about it, maybe they can change up the style. The gappage in between your braids can make or break the style. Some people, like, again, have sent me pictures and said, what can I do now? And my only advice is, if it's not a big deal to you, maybe apply apply some hair in between the gap. That's putting a lot of tension on your actual hair, but sometimes you can apply hair, and I might not be doing and explaining it correctly, but you can apply hair on the hair itself, not the braid, to kind of fill in the gap a little bit better. But again, once they've already installed, once the gap is there, it's kind of hard to go back in time and make the hair last gappy. So applying more hair is one way to alleviate that, but going into it with a good braid pattern to begin with is how you can alleviate those too huge of gaps. Number 3, using products when products aren't really needed. Not every hair needs a product, and not every hair can go without products. It's about finding that right mixture. Now, the thing I'm learning about Harlem 125 Kima product hair is they don't require products on the hair. The last hair that I tried, the Harlem 125 Kima soft dread hair, not a product touched that hair. I did not use Hawaiian Silky. I didn't use braid sheen spray. I didn't use any type of a product. That hair didn't require it. Now, a lot of people are saying when I did Ripple Deep, that's where I went wrong, is I used a product on that hair when it did not require one. Now, some hairs are going to require products. You're just going to have to detangle the hair. You're going to have to put some braid sheen spray to zhuzh the hair back up, to bring it back to life. But some hair just don't even go into it with product. And you're probably questioning, how do I know if a hair is not product hair or not? Again, I have a lot of videos. I have a lot of hair videos, and I try to lead you on the right direction. But if I don't have a video on that hair, check out YouTube. Google a hair. Find out what you need. The last thing I want you to do is be in a situation where you're trying a hair and you're wearing a hair and it's not performing well, and you're like, well, I'm putting more product on, I'm putting more product on it, and it was a hair that didn't even need a drop of product to begin with. Maybe water was the best bet for that hair, but you were applying, you know, all these products, and it's made it worse than it was before. So again, a product or not product, some hairs require it, some hairs don't. In the past, I was 100% on board with product. Every hair needed a product, and now I'm starting to sit back and kind of chill with the hair for a week and see what it responds best to, and see how it plays out with or without a product. Mistake number 4, not taking care of your hair underneath. What I'm realizing is a lot of people are forgetting that they have hair up under their crochet hair. They're more concerned with the crochet hair than they are their actual hair, human hair growing out of their scalp. We need to switch that up. No. We need to be more concerned with our actual hair than we are the crochet hair. Making sure that you are taking the breaks that you need in between it. Make sure you're moisturizing your scalp. Make sure that you are massaging your scalp if you need to. Make sure you're getting the edge control product out. I use edge control on a daily, so I don't have build up at the edge control. I have to make sure that I'm washing it, wetting it, getting it out of there so I can start anew and put more edge control on top of the hair. But again, I don't want all that build up. Build up is bad for the hair. I care more about my hair up underneath than I do the crochet hair, as I should. I'm stuck forever with my own hair. I'm not stuck forever with this crochet hair, and I think that's what a lot of people are forgetting. A lot of people are, you know, swimming in chlorine pools and asking me should they wash their hair if they have crochet hair in, and I'm like, you care about your hair, right? You actually care about your hair. You have to treat your hair accordingly. Don't let the chlorine sit on your hair. Just because I say a hair is swim approved doesn't mean, okay, swim and then do nothing. You have to do something if you're getting that stuff in your hair. You don't want to take the braids out 3 weeks later with your hair having sat in mildewy chlorine for, you know, weeks upon weeks. So again, take care of your hair underneath. And that leads me into number 5, wearing your hair too long. And when I say too long, I don't mean lengthwise. I mean literally wearing it too long in terms of the timing of the hair. Now, I can't tell anybody how long is long enough for them wearing their hair. Again, you can have your own opinion on, well, I can wear my hair 3 months, 4 months. That will not work for me. That's not idyllic in terms of wearing your crochet hair. I 100% feel like 7 to 8 weeks is all it's going to be worth. That's when you get to 8 weeks, you're pushing it. Do not go into month 3 with your crochet hair with the same crochet hairstyle in it. You can take the hair out and reapply it. If you're doing that, that's fine. But these same braids with the same crochet hair on top of it, 8 weeks, too long. It's way too long, and I need to be a better advocate for stressing that as well. Do not wear your hair for an over amount of time. And you guys may be like, why? If you can, why not? It's because, again, your hair needs to breathe. Your actual hair needs to breathe. I think we're forgetting that we have to take care of our hair up under our crochet hair. It needs to have exposure. It needs to be out in the elements. It needs to not be suffocated up under some braids, up under some crochet synthetic hair. We have to remember, let our hair breathe, let our hair have breathers. And again, do not wear your hair for too long. Just because you can, don't mean you should. It don't mean you should. Number 6, wanting too soft of a hair. I get so many questions from people who like, what hair do you suggest, especially since I've uploaded my Harlem 125 Chemo Ripple Deep hair that has become my #1 hair, but some people are like, that hair is too rough, that hair is too rigid. What is a soft hair alternative? I want a very, very soft hair. The thing about very, very soft hair, it doesn't go hand in hand with crochet hair. Now, a synthetic soft hair typically is going to have a lot more slippage. The knots are going to be harder to stay. You're going to be sending me questions. I knotted this hair 6 times. It's still not staying. And I'm like, yeah, because it's a soft hair. It's because it's a soft hair. Soft hairs are not well received for crochet hair. Now, yeah, of course, a soft, you mean you don't want it too rigid. You don't want to put your fingers in it and it feel like a Brillo pad. We're not after Zuri Congo curl. That is a very rough hair, probably the roughest texture hair that I've tried on this channel. We're not going to that extreme, but we again don't want a hair that's so loose and so, you know, rubbing your fingers through it that it's going to run right out as you're dragging your fingers through it, because it's such a soft hair. Crochet hair works better when it is kind of that mid-level roughness to it. A middle ground level of roughness really, really works well and when it comes to crochet hair. So again, I know it's the thing, you want soft hair. You might be used to, you know, coming off of human hair, and you really want something that's super soft. My first hair was very soft hair. Free Trust Deep Twist was a very soft hair. But then when I realized what really, really, really works well for crochet hair was those more rougher textured hairs, those more Harlem 125 hairs. That's why people love Ocean Wave too. That hair has a softness about it, but it's also a rigidness about it that makes it stay in place. Number 7, not believing in yourself. The ability to do it yourself. Now, a lot of people say, oh man, I wish I could wear crochet hair, but 1, I can't afford a stylist, and 2, I can't do it. Now, I had somebody run up on me in person, not run up on me in person, but I saw them in person and they were like, is that crochet hair? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I wish I could do crochet hair. I can braid, but I can't crochet. And I was like, that's so crazy, because that's actually the easier part of crocheting. I feel like the crochet part is the easy part. If you can braid your hair down, you go, girl. All you gotta do, watch a couple of videos and you should be good. The crocheting part, again, is the easier part of the style. Now, a lot of people have that, you know, aversion. I can't try it because I can't do X, Y, Z. Now, braidless. I'm not the hugest fan of braidless. I like braidless, but I just don't know the impact of it future-wise. Like, I know how it impacts your hair, you know, in the current state, but I don't know the long-term effects of braidless. But braidless is an option. The Key Is Me does some phenomenal braidless styles. I think you should 100% check her out if you are interested in seeing braidless as an option. And again, maybe it's a little bit more structured if you use a net as well, but if you do not feel comfortable with braiding your hair, braidless is a style option that you can do. Again, if you can get some things down pat, watch YouTube. YouTube will help you out. 50% of people out here could have a crochet style in without going to a stylist. Now, there's nothing wrong with going to a stylist. I'm never about taking the money out of a stylist's pocket, but if you're somebody who money is a factor and you're trying to get into crochet hair, again, I feel like a lot of y'all can do it yourself. Y'all just not believing in yourselves. Number 8, not invisible knotting your hair when you want it to look natural. Now, a lot of people want their crochet hair to look natural. Going up to number 2, they want a natural look. They want it to look like it's growing out of their scalp. They want it to look very much so natural, but at the same time, they're not doing anything different with their front knots. Your front knots are where you really need to switch the style up. Now, I'm going to link up Loveth Speaks video up above. I always reference her video because she does a phenomenal job with her invisible knotting of hair. That's what method I use with my front knots for most of my hair, because again, we want it to look like it's growing out of our scalp. That's how you make it look more natural. Again, this is an advice for the subset of people who don't care about the naturalness of their crochet hair. They will do this knots in the front the same way they do the knots in the back and have no qualms with that. That's perfectly fine. But for the people who reach out to me all the time because they're like, why my knots don't look like yours? How do you do your knots? How do they look so realistic and all that? And I'm like, I invisible knot, and then they come back with how. I just linked Loveth Speaks video. That's how you invisible knot. That's how my knots look so natural. That's how my hair looks so natural for a majority of my styles. Number 9, nighttime routine. You have got to have a nighttime routine. I cannot stress that enough. I cannot stress that just because I say hair is low maintenance doesn't mean you just go to sleep and you just KO like this. You just don't do anything to the hair. Whether it's pineappling the hair, whether it's just twisting the hair up at night, and you have to sleep with a bonnet on. You have got to sleep with a bonnet on. If you have not slept with a bonnet on and your hair is looking, you know, frizzy, and you're coming to me for advice, I'm gonna back you up and take you back to the bonnet phase, because that's where you messed up at, is that you did not have that bonnet on. A bonnet is essential, more essential with the crochet hair than I feel like it would be essential with the human hair. With a synthetic crochet hair, your hair is synthetic, it is fibers, it is rubbing against things. We need that hair up out the way for most things. You know, it's rubbing against this. Now this is of course a human hair, so it's rubbing against this. It's not having an impact because it's a human hair. But if it was a synthetic hair, yeah, it's coming against some friction. When you sleep at night, we want that hair up out of the way, so we want to put a bonnet on, so when we lay down on our pillows, it's not again met with the friction of a cotton pillow and a synthetic crochet hair. The rubbing of fibers is just a lot for crochet hair, and that's what messes it up a lot of times. We can't not wear our sweaters, we can't not wear our coats, but one thing we can do at night to alleviate some of the friction that the hair comes against is wearing our hair up in a bonnet at night. So please have a nighttime routine with the hair. That is one way that saves all my styles. That's one way that I'm able to wear my styles as long as I'm possibly able to, is because I do have a nighttime routine with all of my hair. So there's no way I can be lazy at night because I want my hair to look good in the morning. Number 10, taking them out. It's super easy. I think a lot of people get hung up on the taking out of the crochet hair. People want me to make an updated video. I believe the third video on my channel is me doing a takedown. That's over 3 years ago, but I haven't felt a need to refilm that video because it still stands. What you're doing is cutting at the knot, then taking the hair out. If you're trying to reuse the hair, then yeah, of course you're gonna have to kind of maneuver around that, but still easy enough. But if you're cutting the hair out, cut at the knot, take the hair out. It's so simple. I will link that video up above because it still stands to the day. Now the quality of that video, being 3 years ago, being the third video I ever filmed, it's pretty crappy. It's pretty crappy quality wise, but the content of it still stands. Easiest thing to do is take out crochet hair. So there you have it. Those are my top 10 crochet braid mistakes. If you feel like I missed anything, let me know down below. Comment down below. I want to hear from you guys on what is a mistake I did not mention. If I got something wrong, let me know down below. I'm always open to more people's feedback. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up even if you didn't enjoy it. We want all the love and support over here on this channel. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at Lia Lavon 89, and make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any of this good content. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Steady on time, yeah, don't be late, nah. Said I'm in love with you, and I'ma give you